Good day, everyone. Once again, our Kos Tanchumim go out to Julie and Richard Ehrlich, mourning this week the loss of Richard's mother, Roberta Ehrlich, Rachel Miriam Bat Yona, Allah Shalom. We thank them for their sponsorship. Sponsored also this week by Gilin Yitzstern as a Schuffer for Shlema for Nissen Halevi Ben Tova, Hashem Yishmer V'Chaskeo, sponsored by Chaim Yoful, Linish Bat their beloved son Hillel, Elvashon Ben Yo Yaakov Sheyichye. Sponsored by Marshall Lee Weinblatt, Linishmat Gittel Bat Chaim Yisachar, and Chavariva Bat Aaron Yosef Uvracha, and sponsored this week by Eric and Selavine, Linishmat Sel's father Yitzchak Meir Ben David Ha Levi. Once again, interesting question from Rav Zilberstein. At the funeral of Rabbi Yisrael Yaakov Flam, and we mention his name because of the good deed that he did, the good person that he was. He was a wealthy individual, lived in Israel, wealthy but lived a frugal life, and gave his money to tzedakah. That was his cause. That was his goodness. So as the story was told at the Levaya, a Rosh Yeshiva came to him once and said that his yeshiva needs a Sefer Torah. Could he donate to the Sefer Torah? And Rav Flam said, "I'll give you half the money, and you'll get the other half from someone else." The implication was that if he was unable, or she was unable to find the money elsewhere, then Rav Flam would donate it himself. Sure enough, they found another person to donate half the Sefer Torah, the value of the Sefer Torah, and there was one condition. The person said, "I'll only do it if only my name appears on it." Meaning he wanted the mental to read, it all came from him, even though he only paid half of it. Is such a thing a violation of Midvar Sheker Tirchak? Because after all, the Torah says, keep far from a falsehood, but there's a falsehood right on the cover of the Sefer Torah. It was not donated by this guy. It was donated by this guy and Rav Flam. They went to Rav Flam, and he said, no, he doesn't care. He doesn't even want his name on it. He's overjoyed that he can give tzedakah without getting any publicity for it. Nonetheless, is it the proper thing to do, to write that quasi-falsehood? No, it's a real falsehood on the mental. And the Ramah says in Reish Mem Tet, in Yordea, Sifka, and Yud Gimel, that if a person's giving tzedakah, you shouldn't try to glorify yourself giving the tzedakah, because if you do, not only do you not receive the schar for it, but you're punished for it. Nevertheless, the Ramah says, Mikol Makom, Misha Makdish Dover L'Tzedakah, a person who dedicates something to tzedakah, Mutar Lo Sheyichtov Shmo Alav. It's permissible for him to write his name on it. That's the plaques we see all over. It's permissible. It is appropriate to do such a thing, to let others know that it was done. Why is that? So you see in Fed, it's based on a truv in the Rashba, and the Rashba says that you see this from the Torah, that the Torah publicizes every good deed that a person does. So, for example, I mentioned this the other day. Reuven saved Yosef. The Torah mentions it. Boaz gave food to Ruth. The Megillah publicizes it. Aaron comes to greet Moshe. Torah publicizes it. So therefore, there's nothing wrong with publicizing that. The problem is the Torah was critical of them for doing that. So what's the answer? The answer is yes, the Torah was critical that they didn't do it b'leiv shalem, and had they known, like I mentioned the other day, had they known the Torah would record it, they would have gone all out. But nonetheless, even though they did an act that was not complete, nonetheless, the Torah mentions that they did these good deeds as well. He tells a story, he quotes the Gemara in Baba Batra, Daf Kuflam and Gimel Amid Bet, the story of Yossi ben Yoezer, one of the Zugot, the early Tanoim. So he had a son who was a little off the derech, and so Yossi ben Yoezer wanted to disinherit him. He took a purse of gold dinars, his wealth, and he donated it, consecrated it to the Beit HaMikdash. Okay? Turns out this son then married the daughter of the crown maker of King Yanai, and at a certain point she gave birth, and to celebrate he bought her a fish, because what do you do when your wife gives birth? You buy her a fish. They cut open the fish, and they found a jewel, and she said to him, well, don't take it to have it assessed in the palace. They'll just confiscate it from you. So what he decided to do is, like his father had done, speaks well of him on that level, he decided to donate it to the Beit HaMikdash. He went and asked them what it's worth, and they told him this one jewel is worth 13 purses of gold, but in the Beit HaMikdash now, the treasury, we only have 7 purses of gold. So he said to them, all right, I'll take the 7 purses of gold, and I'll consecrate the other 6. So you have the value. And the Gaboim recorded in the ledger that Yossi ben Yoezer gave 1 and his son gave 6, even though they weren't together when they did it. It was 2 separate acts. Another source says they wrote Yossi ben Yoezer gave 1 and his son took 7, because in fact that's what he did, and that does not reflect as well on him. So it comes out that even though he did a partial deed, nonetheless this is mentioned as well. Well, you see, partial deeds can be recorded. On the other hand, it still smacks of dishonesty if you write that this person donated a Sefer Torah when in fact he did not donate the entire Sefer Torah. So Rav Zilberstein brings another proof from Bezalel. The Torah says, Vayas Bezalel et Aaron. Bezalel made the Aron HaKodesh, but he didn't. He was one of the others worked on it as well. Or Yeshua ben Gamla, he's the one who saved Jewish education by establishing schools, etc., even though others did it. So the answer given by the Ritva is no. First of all, the one who finishes the deed, he gets the credit for it. And secondly, if you're moser nefesh for something, if you give, you give your whole soul to it, it's called on you as well. And that would be this case too. Since the fellow was moser nefesh to finish the Sefer Torah, and since he was the one who completed the task, it's not considered a falsehood to write he donated it. That doesn't seem entirely kosher, but nonetheless, you can. Have a good day.